It's 10 o'clock. Good evening. This is The World Tonight with David Eads. The United States says it's highly confident that President Assad's forces carried out a chemical attack that killed more than 1,400 people. President Obama has said any response would be limited and narrow and wouldn't be open-ended.
The Pentagon confirmed that it has sent 4 cruise missile destroyers that are now in the eastern Mediterranean and that there is another one along the way.
Now, of course, the role of the British government in all this has become, at best, chief cheerleader for military action. David Cameron continues to shout out his belief in a robust response to the chemical attack, but he is shouting from the touchline. He is, in effect, off the field of play. So what will be the impact of the British no to intervention? Well, Dr. James Boys is a senior research fellow at King's College London, and he's with me now. James Boys, thanks for coming in. It's almost a sport, isn't it, to question the special relationship at any opportunity such as this. Obama and Cameron have spoken in a sort of pally way, we're told, this evening. Could that override a serious diplomatic issue here?
It's possible. There's no doubt about it that looking on through the lens of the media, I think the general public would believe that the special relationship has undulated widely over recent decades. But of course, there is a fundamental relationship there built upon the military. We've heard a lot about the intelligence community of recent times. I think the relationship between Cameron and Obama is relatively solid, so much so that there are a number of Republicans, for example, in the US who are very critical of David Cameron for establishing a good rapport with a Democrat in the White House and not so much with Republicans.
And can we look at a strong friendship, as it's being described, in the past as being something that has healed rifts or even maintained relations? Can it be that simple?
Yeah, very much so. It seems almost simplistic to say the relationship between two countries depends upon the relationships between two men. But of course, if you go back to the Suez Canal crisis, for example, there was such antagonism between Eisenhower and Eden that what it really took was Eden leaving the field, to use your analogy, and Macmillan coming to the White House to soothe that relationship, which of course then improved greatly once John F. Kennedy came to power in 1961.
I mean, it's fair also on this. This is not Iraq. I think everyone would recognise that at this stage in terms of the lengths to which the British might be expected to help. But this is military action, isn't it? And that military relationship, that seems key to the special relationship.
It is, and it's something which most people don't spend an awful lot of time analysing, certainly not enough time. If you go back through a series of conflicts, including the Falklands War, for example, we see a great deal of assets being stripped off American frontline equipment to allow the British to succeed, arguably, in the South Atlantic. And we've also seen other examples, for example, the interoperability between American and British technology, for example, in the deserts of Iraq.
And you don't think that's going to fade in any way with this, or just a blip? Because it was interesting that John Kerry failed to mention that one of the close allies in building up this coalition of support was indeed Britain.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're John Kerry, what you want to do is focus upon the positives. John Kerry was accused of being a Francophile, don't forget, when he ran for the presidency. He speaks French, don't forget, if you're a Republican. And he's someone who I think was trying to play up the positives in this. And you don't do that by mentioning the fact that, oh, by the way, our best ally is not going to be with us on this.
James Boys, thank you very much indeed.